Some of the folks looking to take the White House in 2020 have started to be more vocal than ever about getting rid of the Electoral College for good and just using the national popular vote to choose a president.
Things like the Electoral College are undemocratic and they're hurting the American political process.
We can have national voting, and that means get rid of the Electoral College.
The popular vote has been diminished in terms of making the final decision about who's the president of the United States, and we need to deal with that.
5 of our presidents have been elected while losing the popular vote. Obviously, President Trump being the most recent and one of the main reasons for a resurgence of the argument against the Electoral College. It would take changing the Constitution to get that done, which would take years and 2/3 votes in the Senate, the House, and 2/3 of states to agree, which is not very likely. But work has been going on since 2006 to get around that challenge with the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. The compact is a growing number of states passing bills that would tie their state's electoral votes to the national popular vote. The compact only goes into effect if the list of states equals 270 electoral votes.
It benefits everybody, every voter in Colorado and also across the country if it goes into effect, because that means that every vote is equal. Every vote matters.
That's Mike Foote, the Colorado state senator who sponsored a bill putting his state in the compact.
It'll make sure that people know that they are actually having their voice heard instead of their vote being wasted like it is in so many states.
States in the compact do run the risk of subverting the will of their own voters if candidate A were to win the popular vote and candidate B actually won more votes in that state. But proponents of this want candidates and citizens to completely rethink our national elections.
I think we should look at a presidential election as being an American election, because it is. We elect a president and vice president nationwide, of course. We don't do that for any other position. The entire country elects the president, and we should be looking at this as Americans first and then residents of our state second.
Though people like Senator Foote think this would make elections more fair, some people just aren't so sure. The first big question is whether or not the compact is even constitutional. The short answer is yes.
The Constitution, Article 2, the part about electing the president, says that each legislature shall decide how to allocate its electors.
And whether or not this is legal and constitutional, he's concerned a national popular vote would put rural areas on the presidential candidate back burner.
When the framers set up our constitutional structure, the idea was you didn't want a large populous region electing the president for the entire country. It was designed to have a system where candidates need to draw support from across the country to be able to be elected.
It's not exactly clear how a national popular vote would even work out, but there does seem to be a growing number of American citizens that at least want to try it out. A poll released in 2018 by the Public Religion Research Institute, 65% chose it over the Electoral College.